Hello and welcome to this week's science lesson, and we are learning all about the types of skeletons. So our aim today is to be able to sort animals based on their skeletons, and our success criteria will be I can name the 3 different types of skeletons. Who knew there were 3? And I can explain the pros and cons of different types of skeletons. So pros just mean the good things about that skeleton, and cons mean the bad things or the negative things about that skeleton or type of skeleton. Right, the first thing you're going to do, down below there is a sheet for you to write on, and the first question is, what do you associate with the word skeleton? So on that sheet there's a picture of a skeleton. Just write down words and phrases, as many things that you can think about that you know about skeletons. If you're with your family or your friends, you can talk to them about it. Pause the video. When you're ready, you can come back. Okay, these are 2 really important words, vertebrates and invertebrates. Okay, the difference between vertebrates and invertebrates is simple. A vertebrate has a backbone and an invertebrate doesn't have a backbone. And this here, going all the way from your neck down to your pelvis, is your backbone. It's also called your spine. Okay, invertebrates don't have backbones. Vertebrates have a backbone, a spine, and there's the spine there, and invertebrates don't. Now let's see if you can categorize animals as vertebrates or invertebrates. Okay, we're just going to whiz through these and see how many you get right. Vertebrate or invertebrate? That is the question. Is a dog a vertebrate or an invertebrate? What do you think? Have a quick think. Do you think a dog has a backbone? I think it does. I think my dog likes to be scratched on his backbone. Yep, a dog is a vertebrate. It has a backbone. A worm. Is a worm a vertebrate or an invertebrate? I don't think worms have backbones because they're very, very wiggly and flexible. So I'm going to say it is an invertebrate. Yay. Dinosaurs. Now I know that dinosaurs have backbones because I've seen their fossilized skeletons, so I know that a dinosaur is a vertebrate. Have a think. Humans. And I know that humans are vertebrates. Why? Because we all have backbones. We all have a spine running straight down from our skull all the way down our back to our pelvis. So we, humans, are vertebrates. Yay! Fish. This is a tricky one. Fish, vertebrate or invertebrate? Now, fish are also very flexible. They are very good at swimming and moving through small gaps. But if you've ever seen a cooked fish, you will know that inside the cooked fish are bones because fish are vertebrates. Jellyfish, vertebrate or invertebrate? I think this one is pretty easy. I'm going to say an invertebrate. Correct. And the last one, a butterfly, vertebrate or invertebrate? Now it may look like a butterfly has a spine or a backbone. It has this long, thin body part, but I do have a degree in zoology, so I do know that butterflies are invertebrates. How many did you get right? Count them up and let me know. And now we're moving on to the types of skeletons. So we've talked about vertebrates and we've talked about invertebrates. Vertebrates, like ourselves, have an endoskeleton. Okay, say the word endoskeleton. Endoskeleton, endoskeleton. Okay, and then invertebrates can be separated into 2 groups. We have those that have an exoskeleton, 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 And then we have those that have a hydrostatic skeleton. Hydrostatic, say hydrostatic. Right. In the sheet attached below, there is, on the very first page with the picture of the skeleton, there is a little box for you to write in what do you think these words mean. What do you think endoskeleton means? What do you think exoskeleton means? And what do you think hydrostatic skeleton means? Pause the video, do the writing, and then come back to the video. So it says a further classification of skeletons comes from if an animal has a skeleton and where it is. All vertebrates have an endoskeleton. However, invertebrates can be divided again between those with an exoskeleton and those with a hydrostatic skeleton. And then that's just the question. What do you think the words endoskeleton, exoskeleton, and hydrostatic mean? I know that endo means in, okay, because I remember that endotherms are animals that make their own heat, just like humans do. We create our own heat from inside our bodies, okay? And exo means out, outside, because exotherms get their heat from something outside, like the sun or a hot rock or a heat lamp, which is why a lot of reptiles, if you keep them as pets, need heat lamps because they don't warm themselves up. So I know that endo means in and exo means out. So I'm guessing that endoskeleton means a skeleton inside and an exoskeleton means a skeleton on the outside. And now we come to hydrostatic. Now, and I think static means still, okay, doesn't move. And hydro means water or fluid. So I'm guessing that's why animals with a hydrostatic skeleton are called hydrostatic. I'm guessing there's some kind of fluid or something that is kept in one place that makes them have a solid form. Let's find out. Endoskeletons. Animals with endoskeletons have skeletons on the inside of their body. Yay! Endoskeletons are lighter than exoskeletons. I did not know that. And as the animal grows, so does their skeleton. So if you think about when you were a baby, or if you have a baby brother or a baby sister, when they're first born, they're quite small, okay? But they have a skeleton. And as they grow, and as you grow, and as I've grown, our skeletons have grown as well. So our bones grow just as the rest of us grow. Okay. Exoskeletons. Animals with exoskeletons have their skeletons on the outside. Exoskeletons do not grow with the animal, therefore the animal has to shed its skeleton and produce a new one. And in the introduction to this lesson, there is a link to a video of a crab molting its old shell, its old exoskeleton, and as it breaks out of its old one, it has a new one underneath that isn't fully formed yet, and the crab kind of sucks in water or air to get bigger, and then its skeleton kind of grows, and then the skeleton hardens so that then the crab, the inside of the crab, can then grow to fill in the space in the skeleton. It's pretty amazing to see. And then hydrostatic skeletons. Animals with hydrostatic skeletons don't actually have any bones. All animals with hydrostatic skeletons are invertebrates. Instead, these animals have a fluid-filled compartment in their body called a colon, or colon. I'll have to check the pronunciation of that word. So jellyfish, snails and slugs and worms are all have hydrostatic skeletons. So they don't have any bones, they have fluid-filled compartments in their bodies. So these are the three types of skeleton. We have endoskeletons, which is mammals, birds, fish, reptiles, human beings. We have exoskeletons, which is insects, and arachnids, arthropods, crabs, lobsters, things like that. And then we have hydrostatic skeletons, which are worms and octopuses, slugs, and snails. Although actually a snail has kind of an exoskeleton as well because it has a shell. So snails kind of have hydrostatic and exoskeletons, which is interesting. Can you think of an example of an animal with an exoskeleton, an endoskeleton, and a hydrostatic skeleton? Have a think. You can pause the video if you need to and come back in just a second. Okay, this is the work you're going to be doing today. On the form below, you have this sorting skeleton type table. There are 3 columns for the 3 types of skeletons, and then around the table are pictures of different types of animals. So you can just draw a line to the right box, the right cell on the table. See how many you can get right. I'm looking forward to checking your work. Once you have done that, there is this table here, and the answers are on here, but I want you to try and think about this for yourself. You can come back and look at the video if you need to. So it's got the 3 types of skeleton: endoskeleton, exoskeleton, and hydrostatic skeleton. And then it has a column for pros, what is good about those skeletons, and then the cons, what are the disadvantages or the bad things about those skeletons. We have grows with the body, more protection for the body, does not grow with the body, body is more flexible, cannot lift objects, and muscles are less flexible. Pros and cons of the 3 types of skeletons. You might have to do your own little bit of research here to find out some more information. Right, when you have done all that, you can come back to our success criteria. Can you sort animals based on their skeletons? We did that as part of the video. Let's hope you got them all right. There's the little table and the pictures that you need to match up. See if you can do that. I can name the 3 different types of skeletons. Go and tell somebody that you live with what the 3 types of skeletons are, and I can explain the pros and cons of different types of skeletons. Tell that person what a good thing about each of those skeletons is and what a negative or a disadvantage of those having that type of skeleton is. I will be back next week with another science lesson. Have a great day. Any questions? Just send me a message, get your parents to send me a message on Dojo, and I will see you for live lessons in English and story time at 2:30 every day. Goodbye.